Hello, I'm Adam and welcome in third and last part where I'm building my own home theater. In this video we will talk about cables, cable tunnels and surround speakers, Atmos ceiling speakers and a subwoofer. Okay, so let's start first with the cabling. As you can see, I have guided my cables in this tunnel. I think it looks fine, I would say, and yeah, it was pretty convenient, to be honest. And those tunnels you can buy in different sizes, that's how it looks, and you can buy even smaller one, which you could use for single or double wires to the speakers. It's barely fitting, but it fit two pairs of cables. This one was for like a lot of cables. I put there HDMI, Ethernet, speaker cables, etc, etc. Yeah, but yeah, and there is an alternative way to guide your cables to the speakers. Of course, you can broke your walls and hide the cables, but if for some reason you are not allowed to break your walls, for example, you painted them like 2 months ago, like I did, or those tunnels will look ugly, there is an alternative in this kind of straps. Oh, I will tell it a strap. You can buy it in this form, and yeah, for example 5 meters, 10 meters, whatever your length you want. And mainly there are two types worth considering. First one is 2 lines with very thin copper stripes. The second type is with 2 pairs, so I used it for the ceiling speakers because we've got 2 pairs, so it was pretty convenient to put it on the ceiling, and yeah. But to be honest, this thing I think I wouldn't use it if I had chance to use it one more time. Yeah, so as you can see in my ceiling, the tape got pretty badly waved and it looks very ugly, and I hope after I will paint it, it will be less visible, but to be honest, on real it's even worse, so I don't recommend it, to be honest. But I use slightly different method application for the straps to the rear speakers, and as you can see, those seems pretty well. I know there is something, but fortunately it's about behind monitor. But yeah, anyway, this strip looks better, but it's not ideal. But well, that's Chinese strips, so why there is such a big difference? Probably because I use card on the walls, and I was like removing the cover and just applicate it like this, and on the ceiling I was just doing it manually, so I glued it to the ceiling and moved by hand, and probably that might be the difference. But yeah, anyway, I'm not happy with those. And there is one thing that gets me crazy. For example, if we are going to install it on about 1 meter distance, yeah, it really matters if we get even at the very beginning, because if we, for example, get 1 millimeter off there, at the end it will be counted in centimeters. So if I had to move like 3 meters on the ceiling, it was driving me crazy to make it even. And of course the glue is very strong, so if you glue it once, you've got like 50% chances it will come off with the paint. Yeah, that's, yeah. But there are there is another difference in those stripes. I didn't knew that, to be honest, before I installed this. The 4-lane tape, as you can see, the surface is like matte. Let's say it's closer to a wall. I'm not sure if you see this. I hope you saw. And yeah, the main difference is that in this case, let me get a scalpel. Yeah, in this case I was able to easily cut, for example, square, because there are adapters to buy, but to be honest they were pretty expensive, and yeah, I didn't need that. And you can see I just used scalpel and cut pretty nice square surface, and I've got clean copper there. It solders very nicely. Yeah, that's not problem in this case, which looks worse on the siding, unfortunately. And in this double sided, oh, I feel the difference, by the way. Yeah, in terms of electricity, though the single line should have same properties as this one, because it's way thinner, but it's wider 2 times. Yeah, so I feel that like this is a little bit bigger but thicker, but yeah, whatever. And the very big difference is in because in this case I easily cut this, but in this example, if we try to cut a square, and we can see it's not going off easily, and unfortunately I experienced it already on the wall, so it was very uncomfortable position, to be honest, because I spotted it under my desk. Oh my gosh, yeah, and even now in hands it's pretty hard to do. Okay, and now we can see I'm hardly removing the cover. And we can see there is still a glue. So what I did, I just used soldering iron and tin, and I covered the whole copper in a tin, and let's say it removed the glue outside of the copper area, and it worked, but totally different story, yeah, in soldering this. Okay, that's it for the cables. Summarizing, if you are not able to break walls, use those cable tunnels, because to be honest you can paint it and those like looks pretty fine. If for example your wife is totally disagreeing this idea, you can go into this, but I hope it will be less visible, but the installation and the other things like soldering and I just don't like it, but it might be the only way that you can, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about speakers. As you can see, I chose the Bronze FX. Why I choose them? Because my couch is just behind the wall. Yeah, at this moment it's yeah, because I'm just after installation. So this was the only one good choice. Why? Because those speakers I like 12 centimeters deep, so that's fits with the couch, and those are giving very surround sound, let's say. I mean, in general those are bad choice for the Dolby Atmos, because they don't work well with the Dolby positioning, let's name it like this. But in this case it resolves very good the problem with not enough space, because yeah, it's right behind ear, and the minimal distance from the ear to the speaker is like 60-70 centimeters. That's barely minimum. And alternative way to install this speaker could be on the side wall. And you can see there is my sailing tunnel, sailing wireless tunnel. But to be honest, I was testing it and I liked better if speaker was behind me. Yeah. Okay, and yeah, let's now talk about sailing speakers. Let me go up, and as you can see, there is my tunnel, and that's how I soldered everything, and that's how it's going up. And there we go, the Cambridge Audio minx 22 speakers. And as you can see, I bought the original mounting, and yeah, that's how it looks, and it goes straight to the another speaker. Two words about positioning. The, let's say, depth to the wall should be at your knees position. So if we go straight down, there is a place where my knees are ending. And of course those needs to be positioned to your sweet spot, so I had to be creative. And of course I had to 3D print a washer, which I'm not sure if you will see it. Oh, you won't see it. I had to print a washer to be able to rotate this 360 degrees, so I was able to mount the mount straight to the lines and angle the speaker to at point what I wanted. Yeah. Through a few words about those speakers. Those speakers are great for Atmos ceiling speakers, even those are I would say too good for this purpose. But those are compact. Those are not that cheap, but compact size. You got feeling that there is something inside. And to be honest, after test, those sound really great. So I recommend those. Even I would think about buying another pair and having a PC speakers, because yeah, I was surprised. Okay, and now let's talk about subwoofer. As you can see, this is a rear panel of the Bronze W10, and we've got yeah, some of knobs and switches. So from the left we are going to use LFE input if it's available, because this input is not filtered by the frequency knob. So in this input the amplituner is filtering what frequencies will go to the subwoofer. And that's better way, because amplituner has, let's say, better control of the frequencies than there's one low pass filter. Next we've got a 12 volt trigger. This is optional to have if we've got this switch set to auto. Yeah, because it's powered from the another power source, and subwoofer needs to know when to turn on. And auto position means if it detects a signal on the LFE input, it will turn on the amplifier and will work. To be honest, it's turning on very fine, but it takes time to turn it off, like I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. The LED on the back is shining green for like 5 or 10 minutes after turning off the whole system. Yeah, that's one downside. And if your amplituner has the trigger output, you have to get there another cable and connect it there, so it will be optimized, I would say. Frequency knob doesn't work if you've got LFE. Volume, you need to experiment, because it's like a gain knob in the car amplituners. You have to experiment, and at which sound level you got the good bass. And yeah, phase you shouldn't touch, and bass, impact, or movie or music. Well, to be honest, I didn't play it yet with those switches. yeah, whatever. I just played it few times, and to be honest, it has about 200 watts RMS. It's very enough for 19 meters room. It's making earthquake, and yeah, I really recommend that. Ideas about positioning your subwoofer. In my case, the subwoofer will be positioned in the middle of a room because I've got there a subwoofer cable and the power cable, and yeah, that's one of the optimal places because anyway, it very depends on your room because low frequencies are moving through the objects and you need just to discover what's the best spot for your subwoofer. I had an alternative place where I could put it into a corner like there, but to be honest, yeah, I felt like it's better because I don't see a subwoofer, but I feel it much better because it's closer, yeah. And two words about subwoofer cables, because I dig this topic a lot, because you need a good quality subwoofer cable because your subwoofer might buzz because this is like big antenna, and yeah, there goes a low voltage audio signal, and it needs to have for sure good shielding. And yeah, I digged around a lot and I found two cables which are very nice and not that expensive because it's just subwoofer. And what I would say, the first cable which I installed in the 5-meter version, it's, I won't name it. It's very good quality, but there is a one flaw. In my case, those connectors are not that tight sitting into the RCA port, so I'm not spotting it in the subwoofer. I'm not spotting a problem with that if the subwoofer will vibrate and disconnect, but there is a risk because those, yeah, it's almost like loose, yeah. And I tested another cable, the WireWord Luna 8, and I must say, yeah, it's visibly better, and the RCA connectors are tighter, so that's very nice. But there is one thing what I want to let you spot. This cable is directional, so there is a amplituner and signal goes, as we can see arrow, to the subwoofer. Just be aware of that. Yeah, and those are cables what I recommend. The subwoofer is not buzzing, and those cables are not so expensive, but are pretty good. And you don't pay a lot for a coaxial cable because those are pretty flexible. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and hit the subscribe button. Bye.